on to the next round, because there's a lot of people saying that my man Crawford ducking Porter, right? Kenny Porter came out saying that he felt like basically Top Rank and Bob Arum is clout chasing off Porter's name. You know what I mean? And then not too long after, Porter had an interview on PBC and stated he have a short list. And that short list only had Errol the Truth Spence and Manny Pac-Man Pacquiao. Now y'all have to keep in mind that Porter just got married, so congratulations to him. Now if they are true friends, Crawford should have been at the wedding. You know what I mean? That's if you my friend, you know what I'm saying? Like, you better show up at my wedding. That's how I'm feeling. But maybe he was busy, maybe he was not, maybe he showed up, maybe he didn't. I don't know, but I'm just saying, outside looking in, right? But for Porter to come out and say, I have a short list of Errol Spence and Manny Pacquiao, and ignore the elephant in the room that's been in the talk in the media for the past couple months, Crawford, who's pound for pound number one, shows that he's not interested in fighting Crawford. Regardless of the reason, either his friend, either they too close, either they don't want to fight each other, whatever the reason is, Porter had his chance to call out my man Crawford and put him in a spot where if he says no, he gonna look bad and horrible, and people gonna say he ducking. Now that narrative is thrown out the window. That narrative of Crawford avoiding Porter is thrown out the window, because Porter himself didn't call him out. Porter had a chance of saying he want Crawford next, and you could do it respectfully. You don't have to disrespect nobody. But he said, on the other hand, he have a short list of two fighters, and that's Manny Pacquiao and Errol Spence, and he ignored pound for pound number one Crawford, who been on the talks in the media for like the past 2 months of him versus Porter. So what's your take on that whole matter?
I mean, it's bogus. I'm not the one thing I'm not the biggest fan of Shawn Porter's fighting style necessarily. But one thing that if people talk about it, I was like, you got to give him credit. He has probably fought the most top level welterweights out there. He's fought Porter. He's fought Danny Garcia. He's fought Thurman. He's fought Ugas. He's do that. So to question his heart, I think is a bit disingenuous in there. But I am just tired of everybody treating Terence Crawford like he's just this boogeyman. I'm not saying that he's like, when they look at him, like they don't see somebody that is a formidable opponent. But and maybe it's something that Al Heyman has kind of gotten to the ears, just like, hey, that's another guy at the network. We don't really want to mention his name. We don't want to give them. So that might be something into it. But all these fighters, like, they just won't mention his name at all. I'm just like, God, this is number one pound for pound. We know who he is. We know who this guy is.
I don't think Heyman mentioned anything to Shawn and told him don't mention Crawford. I don't think Al Heyman ever did so. I think Danny's not interested in Crawford, just stylistically. Yeah. I think Porter just not interested in fighting Crawford, not stylistically, but more so friendship-wise. Because it's a big fight for Porter. It's a win-win situation. And just to put icing on the cake and end the conversation, because a lot of people want to call Crawford out saying he ducking Porter, this and that. Listen, the WBO has a rule that you cannot fight for that strap coming off a loss. And who's coming off a loss? Porter is. So he cannot fight Crawford coming off a loss, because the WBO have a rule you can't fight a champion coming off a loss, right? Of course, they broke that rule for the one and only Lomachenko, but
do it again.
Lomachenko is on the hope list. Porter is on the coincidental list. They ain't about to do that. They not about to go against the rules and do it for a fighter on the coincidental list. Absolutely not. So that being said, shout out to Shawn Johnson. There's a lot of people I want to give a shout out to real quick. Jay Cooley, real rap It ain't no longer a rap critic. It's
Yeah,
real rap. My man switched his name. Hey, real rap supposed to have a rap battle today with my man. What's his name?
Serrano Boxing.
Serrano Boxing.
Serrano.
Hopefully my man is a show. Hopefully my man didn't end up being a no-show. But obviously we were supposed to be live yesterday. We had technical issues, so we are live today. So of course, you know, that could be the reason. But regardless of that, shout out to everybody in the chat. If y'all have any questions, y'all could just throw a super chat and we would definitely answer. Now, first of all, just to get back to the topic real quick, as far as Porter and stuff, like I said, I don't think Heyman is telling these guys, oh, don't call out Crawford, this and that. I just think these guys are not interested in Crawford because, like I said, and I will stick to my guns, is the fact that Crawford is a higher reward if you could beat him, but good luck beating him, so he ended up being a higher risk. Mm-hmm. So you know what I'm saying? So Danny Garcia is not interested because of that. Porter is not interested because of friendship. I don't think it's stylistically or whatever. And of course, Errol Spence wanted to smoke. So other than Keith Thurman, who obviously don't want to fight Crawford because Crawford is the truth. He wanted to welcome Danny Garcia, but he don't want to welcome Crawford to the welterweight division. Even when Crawford got a strap now, he doesn't. Still not interested. Obviously, he's still going to have a comeback fight. He going to need a tune-up before fighting pound for pound #1 Crawford. So what I'm saying is not the fact that Heyman is telling these guys, oh, yeah, you know, don't do this, don't do that. I just think it's the fighters. It's their decision. He's just the manager. He makes the best decision for the fighter. He would love to make the Porter fight happen for Porter. I mean, against Crawford. Heyman would love to make that happen because business-wise, it's a wise decision for them because it will build up the Errol Spence fight. It will get Porter to fight an elite-level fighter and do business with ESPN. So any last thoughts on that topic in particular?
Well, fighters fight. You know, talk is talk. So this is a lot of talk right now. Welterweight is easily the best division in boxing right now. But we are going to miss out on a golden era if the top fighters. So just think about if Sugar Ray Leonard never fought Roberto Duran or never fought Tommy Hearns or Tommy Hearns never fought Roberto. I mean, all this. And then even with Wilfred Benitez, just think of all of these fighters were just playing politics. It would have changed the historical imprint of boxing. And then so you paid, you know, we're not into bullying and making somebody get into the ring with somebody that they don't want to, but fighters fight, man.
But before you hit the bell, I just want to get this out the way. Like the golden era, like people like to praise it and stuff. Let's all be honest real quick. Obviously, the PBC is like the UFC of boxing, but the UFC really have a kind of structure of the best having to fight the best. But in boxing, it's always been like this, even back in the day. I mean, even when Duran fought Sugar Ray Leonard, they fought like so far in between. I mean, Sugar Ray Leonard didn't fight Hagler till I don't know when, 5 years too late.
But no, so but Hagler was a middleweight.
I know, but I'm talking about a lot of fights that Leonard didn't fight everybody, and Leonard one of my favorite fighters. So I'm just saying, like, business
Leonard
always
didn't fight everybody?
Always played into this. You know what I'm saying?
Oh my,
yeah. So
I've really never heard that. Leonard fought everybody.
Pryor, what's that guy named Pryor? That
Aaron Pryor.
Yeah, Aaron Pryor. Like this guys that I could
that
call
was a
you.
140 fighter. I don't know if Aaron Pryor ever moved up to 147.
He wanted to fight him.
But people did say that. But
like he said, I heard Leonard offered him a small time offer, but I heard it was such a low blow offer. I mean, so like I said, at the end of the day, I'm just saying this has always took place in the business in boxing because of business. The way it's structured, it will always and it will ever be like it will forever be this way till Heyman get in control of all these fighters and sign them together under PBC. If he's able to do that, then he could pull off something like that of the best fighting the best, and we get a Super Bowl every year. Other than that, we will always have this issue. So
I mean, that doesn't mean that we have to like it. I
don't like it, but I'm just saying, it's just what it is.
Day, when all the heavyweights were in Muhammad Ali's era with Foreman and Frazier and stuff.
Ali different now.
But still, those guys fought each other like they were. People don't understand. George Foreman was a beast.
That's a true golden era.
Yeah, okay.
That's the golden era
Yeah.
you're talking about. But I'm talking about the welterweights in the 80s, the 90s. Let's all be honest, they did maneuver around as well. So go ahead, hit the next round. And of course, yeah, you already know. I mean, Deontay Wilder versus Tyson Fury. Both of them were dripped up during the press conference in LA. Obviously, Wilder always come correct. I'm always interested to see what a brother wear next. Of course, Fury rocking the what is it, fruity suits, but he
Yeah.
looks good in them. So.